Hi, my name is Matthew White, and this is my individual final report for Make Supply Chain Process Improvement. For this final report, I broke it into a few different sections to make it a little more efficient the way I present the information. For the first section, I would like to speak about a little bit about me. My name is Matthew White, and I'm a supply chain management major, and I'm a finance minor. I have some internship experience with JB Hunt. I worked for them for about 9 months on the intermodal operations side. And currently I have applied to law school and am awaiting hearing back on my application status. And I have also applied for some jobs to give myself kind of a backup plan just in case I don't want to go the law route. So for the first category pertaining to things that I learned in the class, I want to talk about some of the tools that we used over the semester. The first tool that I really enjoyed using was the customer empathy map. I think it did a really good job of introducing me to new ways and thoughts and ideas of how to put myself in the customer's shoes and figure out who they are, what they need, how they feel, and what they want. And I learned a lot of new questions to ask and ways to go about finding out how to put myself in the customer's shoes. I also really enjoyed the value stream map, not just the value stream map, but the future value stream map. I thought it was very interesting working with the companies such as Cherokee Building Materials, and I thought it was interesting to go in and view their entire supply chain, how they go about things, and then put it all on a map and to show how their stuff flows and how their supply chain operates. And I think it did a really good job of highlighting any inefficiencies that we found in the process. When we threw it on the value stream map, it was very easy to see how could this be better from this information or from this material to get to here, or for this to get to this, or how can we improve things. I think the value stream map gave a really good visual into just how it operates. And then next, I also would like to mention the PDCA cycle, that as well as the kata experiment record. I really like those because they gave a lot of room for recording things for your record or your idea implementation. There's a lot of detail that you could acquire and fill out onto the kata experiment record, and with the PDCA cycle, it helps you, or it helped me at least, when implementing my ideas to keep track of it and see what's going on and how did it work out, and could it be better, or could we improve it, or should we just trash this idea? So now I want to speak about some of the in-class activities. One of the first ones I would like to mention is the pick chart. I thought that was a really interesting, and I really liked that activity because it pushed me and my teammates, and it challenged us. Having 4 people and having to come up with 10 ideas each, and that was really tough and challenging. We had to think creatively and think outside of the box, because none of them could overlap, and then throwing it on to the kill section or the implement section or the possible section. I thought that was really cool because it gave you a visual of, okay, these are the ideas we have, and these are, the reality of it. Like, is this a realistic idea, or is this possible to implement? I thought that was really good for organizing our ideas whenever it came down to actually implementing them and choosing the ones to implement. Another 2 simulations that I really enjoyed were the airplane and the beer game simulations. I thought it was very interesting to see the difference versus in the beer game simulation when communication was kind of told we weren't supposed to communicate and that we can't talk to the suppliers or anybody else. Seeing the chaos in the supply chain versus the airplane simulation, the first go we had some inefficiencies, yes, but after we regrouped and talked with collaborated as a team and pointed out some areas to improve, the difference in the supply chain having clear and consistent communication, it was very eye-opening with those simulations. I also really like the domino game. I thought it was really fun to learn how to use the kata experiment record throughout that game. Really interesting to learn real tools to use during a game. I don't feel like very many classes that I did in-class simulations with or in-class games with, we were actually learning things that we were going to use in a project or in the class. I felt like it was more of just a team bonding activity, but this class was not just a team bonding activity, but we were learning things, which I really enjoyed. And the next topic I would like to talk about is the project. I really enjoyed the project because for multiple reasons, but the biggest one being it opened my idea to a new career or a new job field that I never really thought of. Looking at what we did during the project, going in to Gemba and watching the work get done, how did it get done, where could we improve it, what could be better, what should stay the same, was very similar, I feel like, to a consulting role. And I never really thought of myself as someone that would be into consulting or interested in consulting, but after doing this project, it felt like it was almost identical to what they do, and I really enjoyed it and found myself very interested throughout the whole project. I feel like that doesn't happen very often with classes where I'm very interested in the project, especially logistics. Working at JB Hunt, it was a logistics company, and I enjoyed my time there, but it opened my eyes that logistics was not a role or a side of supply chain that I wanted to take on whenever I went professionally. But this whole project was almost over pretty much a logistics company, but I really enjoyed all of it and never found myself disinterested or bored throughout the entire project, and I really enjoyed that about it. And also I enjoyed going in and actually seeing possible change or seeing what industry leaders thought of our ideas. Just being a college student, it's kind of sometimes a little scary to go into the real world thinking maybe I don't know anything because I don't have the experience, but seeing how they reacted to our ideas and our implementation, they really liked it, and I thought it was a really good confidence booster and a great activity to see how the real world is and what I may be doing professionally once I graduate. And finally, I want to get into the two biggest key takeaways from this semester. The first one is that I should always strive for continuous improvement, whether that be professionally or personally. There's always ways or areas that you can find to continuously improve, and I think this class highlighted that, and it gave me a lot of good tools to be able to continuously improve. And finally, the last key takeaway I got from this class was just how important communication is. Without clear and consistent communication throughout all of the in-class activities and trips up to our company, we wouldn't have got anywhere near what we were able to accomplish if we were not consistently communicating as a team. Without communication, it was chaos, and it was just everything was out of sorts, but throwing in good and consistent communication makes a world of difference.